Now we have the same example as before, but we're going to study it in conjunction with the cologram. So we have here the cologram, we put the frequencies and we zoom into it. This time we have the frequency that we were looking for before, 128.21. You see this frequency is also in the FFT. We will zoom into this here, and you see that it's here. Also, these little bumps here are frequencies too. Okay, so this is the one we checked, and we saw the harmonics, that this one was a perfect harmonic from the 128. So if we go back to the cologram, we will see the other frequency, fundamental frequency that we chose, 126. So this is it, the one that we chose before, that we also saw in the FFT, like this here, a slight little bump here, close to it, and that one we had different harmonics for it. This harmonic came a little closer to that. That one didn't coincide with that one, but it did coincide. It was check the whole entire with the peak here. Let's see, we have to get it again. See, we have it straight there. Yeah, you see, it did coincide perfectly with that peak, and it came from the other one. It didn't come from the one that was the highest one. We look at it again in the cologram, it came from this one, not from the higher one. If we look at the other example, we will also check the cologram. We put the frequencies and we zoom into closer look at it. Let's look at just here. We have only checked the main octave. So then that's the color bars that it shows. So we zoom into the two frequencies that we were checking. We have this frequency here, 176, that we checked, which was in the FFT, was here, the highest one in the FFT. Okay, that one there. Okay. Meanwhile, this bump here that we have checked, this one, let's see, this one was the first one we got, and we have the harmonics that coincided with that peak here. And then let's zoom in a little more. Okay, we set it in. So that one was that harmonic, and then we had this other little bump here, okay, was this one that was actually even higher in this case, maybe 195. So we check it in the FFT, we're 195, and we see that that bump there, that belonged, and it clicked exactly these two peaks, and that belonged to thyroxine T4. Now, the interesting part of seeing both the cologram and the FFT is that this is a very high frequency. In the cologram, it means that that frequency was mentioned even more than these that have more volume in the FFT. These are more important in the FFT. But this one is mentioned more times in the cologram. So let's see where that one is, which is 100, and we can get closer to it, and then we will sure get the right, yeah, there. 253, 46, 85. So then maybe we can get closer to 253. 253 is somewhere in this little bump here. Okay, so that means that this frequency didn't do much. Let's do another cursor for this one, not this one. Let's leave that cursor with what it was there before, and let's make another cursor, this one, for this one, 253. Okay, so let's see what the harmonics look like. That one. Just click out and just look at the harmonics of that one. You see that here it takes the other one takes that. This one is taking this harmonic instead, and it does coincide with that too. Okay, so this peak in reality, if we put the three cursors in, the three that 1, 2, all of them coincide here in a certain way to make this peak higher, even though the one that is the highest there is the first one. Okay, so this helps us to see how we can do the analysis from the perspective of the chromatic, which the peaks say which frequencies are most mentioned, which is different than the frequencies that are have more volume, more amplitude. That is what the FFT tells us. So we have to decide what one type of analysis tells us compared to the other one. So this frequency, we would have not picked it up in the FFT, but we do pick it up in the NS, in the hologram, and on the Nutritional Sound database, and then we click on the frequency, and here it comes, and it was for the immune system for this person, and the molecular weight that seems to fit this person, and then we select effect, and it's copper. Okay, this is actually not being taken by the person, but definitely something that is high at that moment for other reasons. Here we have another example of an FFT, and here we pick up this frequency here, 183, in the hologram. So let's see how that shows in the FFT. You see there's a little bump here that is there where the 183 is. So it actually, if we would zoom in, we would see it, we would pick it up better. Let's see. Okay, there. Okay, zoom out again, and we do the frequencies, and we see 182.76 is actually more exact. So let's go into the FFT and go to the harmonics of all the frequencies. Meanwhile, the hologram is only the fundamental frequencies, and what is not volume. It's the peaks are how many times